So what's in and what's out for this summer? And do these fashion trends work for us? And are they relevant? It's all coming up in this video. Hello, I'm your friend Deirdre, and a big warm welcome back to my channel, the channel for ladies over 50, and I hope you're all doing really, really well. This video is to keep you updated on what's going on in the fashion world, to show you the biggest fashion trends for summer 2025. So what's in and what's out, so that if you wish, you can nod at a trend or two, or completely embrace them if you wish, if they work for you and your life, or you can totally ignore them altogether. And I have a really fun one at the end for your entertainment. So I'm diving straight in with my ins and outs, and the first fashion trend is an in. We're going to start positively here, and it is in our tank tops and vests. Now I'm starting with tank tops and vests because this is something that I think is really accessible for us and our daily lives. I mean, it's on the catwalk at the moment, but I bet you've got at least one in your wardrobe already. Tank tops are a real wardrobe staple, I think, and they're such a great layering piece as a base layer for so many outfits all year round, really. Under another top or a sweater or an overshirt or a jacket, they're just perfect. So I, for one, am delighted to see that they're being focused on more now. This chainmail one, though, might not necessarily be our first choice, or maybe it will. It depends on your style. From a wardrobe basic like this one from Weekday to these gorgeous Eileen Fisher linen ones, you know, they are so versatile. Just make sure that you choose one with a scoop neck to be really on trend. So let's have a look at what patterns are in and out for this summer. So first of all, out are those thick horizontal colourful stripes. Now stripes in general are very much still on trend, but those with really thick horizontal stripes in either, you know, those strong contrasts like black and white or multicolours, they are out. And to be honest, I'm really pleased about this for us, because styling these types of tops and dresses and even skirts in big, thick horizontal lines can be a bit of a challenge to not look wider than we actually are. Now, having said that, what is in are classic stripes. So by classic stripes, I mean those that you find on Breton tops, those beautiful stripy tops, on striped shirts, which are typically narrower in width, or maybe they're more spaced out with more white between them. And I love that they're so much more flattering, even when they're horizontal. I think stripes like this, so a bit narrower, are arguably one of the most wearable of all the summer trends. On the catwalk, stripes were mixed with a nautical feel, and I do think they're a perfect vibe for us too, in pieces like cardigans and jackets, like this one from Walmart, very reasonably priced to be able to, you know, give a nod to this trend. Or this one from Amazon, or classic striped shirts, of course, hard to beat for versatility and style. Or trousers too. Wearing striped trousers, I think, bridges that contrast between classic and classy with being a little bit funky too, with loads of personality. Now, another pattern which you may have seen in one of my recent videos too that's really on trend are polka dots. This is a really youthful vibe, but still classy and really elegant. On the runways, actually, they've been pretty out there and flouncy, but they can be worn more modestly if you prefer, such as this beautiful mango top with the sleeveless top. Absolutely gorgeous, very elegant, which I can definitely see looking so glamorous for evenings or events in the summer. And if you're looking for a swimsuit that keeps everything in, you know, nice and tidy in the stomach region and confuses the eye about what your figure really is, you could try a polka dot print like this one from J. Crew. Polka dots make a fabulous dress for a wedding guest too, or any summer event. Something like this one, for example. This is from the Marks & Spencer's collection, sweetheart neckline, gorgeous maxi waisted dress, and you know, I can see this with a little linen jacket on top too. So I just want to touch on florals next. Actually, some are in and some are out. So if you're a florals fan, you might want to know that out are those large high contrast bold florals. You'd often find these types of things from places like Amazon, where they're high contrast, uber bold in tops, shirts, dresses, and very, very large. Now, this sort of a look is very dated now, and they often come in synthetic materials too, which aren't breathable, and the fabric tends to look a little bit low quality. So in my opinion, a good move that they're no longer on trend, although of course you may love them, in which case, wear them by all means. Now, on the subject of florals still, I want to show you some that are really in. And in particular, there's sort of a type of florals that are really on trend now, which are vintage florals and very soft florals. So softer florals, lighter florals, vintage look florals are really in for this summer rather than the bold ones. So those with more of a neutral background, maybe slightly beigey background. And again, these can be pretty event ready as well. But one thing to be aware of, depending on your colouring of course, is if you're tempted by this type of print, not to choose one that's too pale or like a very pale beige, as it may make you look a little bit washed out rather than uplifted. But of course, it's all to do with your own personal colouring. So by the way, if you like these tips, please do hit that subscribe button because it really helps the channel to keep going. So moving on from patterns, the next thing I want to show you is really fun, I think. So in are skirts and skirts over pants, called scants. Obviously. Skirts over pants are a thing that have come up recently and are basically a garment which looks like a skirt but is actually trousers. A bit like skirts look like a shorter skirt but are actually shorts. So what do we think of them, ladies? I would absolutely love you to comment in the comments section below. Would you wear them? And if so, which kind of ones? Skirts or scants? Okay, moving on. I'm very happy to say that another type of clothing that's in are Coord sets. I love that Coord sets are in. They just have so many good points about them. You know, they're an easy one and done outfit. They can easily be dressed up for formal events or work or down, a bit more casual. And they're also interchangeable, of course. So each piece can be paired with other things in your wardrobe. And I really think that they're very flattering too, creating that gorgeous long line from top to bottom without any effort. Something like a linen Coord with either a waistcoat or a light jacket would be a look that could honestly take you anywhere for the summer, and you'll always look chic and elegant. Now, I really think that if you don't possess one, if there's one thing along with a tank top, so maybe two things, if it suits your lifestyle that you may need to buy, especially if you've got an event where you don't want to wear a dress, then a Coord is a really great choice. Now, another item that's very in are Tulle Wraps. Now, sheer naked dressing is something that's been on the catwalks for a while, of course. I'm not going to be doing that anytime soon. They love to try and shock at these fashion shows. But what I love, and the takeaway from this, is the Tulle Wraps, because I just think they're so useful. Now, I'm a huge fan of wraps in general, you know, those large shawls. And I often wear them in the summer, especially in the evenings, if the air is a bit chilly and you don't want your shoulders to get too cold, but you don't really want to wear a jacket. I love wearing them in vivid colours too, as you can see here. This one, which is a feather-light cashmere one actually, not tulle, I wore in Greece last year. Well, I've got three actually, and I wear them a lot. So I'm interpreting this Tulle wrap trend as any kind of wrap for the summer, which I think can fit in with our wardrobes really well, very well adapted to us. Okay, let's have a look at colours now. So the colours that are really in. One colour which is trending massively at the moment is tomato red. Now, we had a bit of a discussion in my last video about red, and I know it doesn't suit everyone, although I have a view on it. You might like to go and have a look. We'll get some. The colour is, wait for it, red. But I can't wear red, I can hear you say. But this is tomato red, a very fruity, fiery version of red. Very vibrant, but if that's a little bit too much in your face, other colours that are in are also pretty pastels. Now, pretty pastels are really on trend. Now, not a surprise really, obviously, because pastels are often a go-to for spring into the hot summer days. And I'm wearing a kind of candy pastel pink here, just so pretty. But this year, they're just everywhere. So that means more choice of those delicate, beautiful colours. You could try a pair of pastel coloured trousers if you don't want to go the whole hog with a dress, like these gorgeous ones from Madewell. Or if you weren't so keen on wearing the pastel colours in clothes, maybe you could add something like pistachio green or some colour like that to sunglasses like these ones, really, really on trend. Butter yellow is still going strong, beautiful colour that works from spring right through into summer, as is this stunning shade of peach. For example, this J. Crew beautiful drop waist dress, and also this mango tweed jacket that you can get through Nordstrom. Gorgeous pink tweed look jacket, really, really pretty. Now, colours that are out for this summer are basically those oversaturated colours, such as that vivid Barbie pink, neon green, and all those walking highlighter pens, which I talked about more in my video on how not to dress in summer, which I'll link for you below to watch after this one. So I want to share with you now my fun entry in this selection, which is something that's in, is hoops, spirals, and voluminous skirts. Now this is a dress designed in a spiral silhouette made of tiered bands which were suspended by invisible threads. Now I can only imagine how much time it took, not just to make it, but to get in and out of this dress too. And I'm not quite sure how you get out the door in this one, or where you'd go for that matter when you got outside. Now I'm all for a good puffer coat, but I think these are taking it a little bit far. So I hope you've enjoyed this video and it's given you an idea of any trends that you might like to try, little bits of at least, and some you might be already wearing and some you wouldn't touch. Now, if you've enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe and share this with your friends. I hope you have an amazing day, an amazing week, and I'll see you really, really soon for more styling videos. Lots of love. Bye.